Welcome everyone, welcome to the Dauntless at Sea channel. Well, as you can see here, we're neither on Dauntless nor at sea. This is actually the Tan Phu district of Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, formerly known as Saigon, and actually downtown is still known as Saigon. That big green building on the right there, right here, is my old apartment building. I lived there for a year on the 6th floor right there facing north. We're heading south right now. We're going to turn right on this busy street, and you got to beware riding a motorcycle in Vietnam. You got to watch everything and everyone and be prepared for everything. And as long as you understand, the number one rule in the road is don't hit what you can see. And pretty much that's the rule people stick by. And if you think of that logically, then you think there's a logic to everything you see going on here. These are new apartment buildings. They're not occupied yet, but Ho Chi Minh City's been in this big growth spurt for the last few years. A lot of people moving from the countryside because they can make more money in the factories here than they can make as farmers, much like happened in the United States 100 years ago. And that sort of sums it up really well as what's happened in the economy in Ho Chi Minh City. We're coming up to a very busy 5-way intersection up here, which sometimes isn't bad, but today it actually is pretty bad. It took me like 5 minutes to get through the intersection, which, the traffic is bad. So you'll see that. And then I'm going home here now to my new house that is a couple miles away, a little further to the southwest of this location. I'm going to stop and get bread on the way and pull up to my house. And this whole drive takes about 15 minutes with my stop. So now we're seeing little street vendors on the right. They're mostly selling to people, some people who stop by, but also to the workers who are working in those apartment buildings, fixing them up. And now we're still a couple hundred feet from the intersection. And the problem is there's these trucks here, so all the motorbikes sort of have to funnel past the trucks. That's why you see some people on the sidewalk. When I'm desperately in a hurry, sometimes I'll go on the sidewalk too. But even these people up here, you're going to be stopped pretty quick. So, it's not like you're saving. Maybe if the most you save a minute, you're not saving a lot of time in this situation here. This guy right here is a Grab bike. You see his little green helmet there. Now, does that mean he's actually working for Grab now? Who knows? Vietnamese are very practical. If they have one helmet, they don't need two. Meaning if he's working for Grab, sometimes he's going to wear that helmet all the time. This is a GoPro. It's mounted right on the front of the bike, right above the headlight. I sort of wanted it somewhat unobtrusive. So I think this guy actually is looking at it. He's one of the few people who actually notices it. I turned off the engine. I'll turn off the engine on and off when I'm in an intersection like this. Save gas, less noise. The GoPro picks up a weird noise from the engine. There's a weird harmonic there. It's that crackling noise. So somehow, but that's basically how the GoPro hears the engine sound. Yeah, I thought about coming on the sidewalk here, but the sidewalk's not that great either. There's holes in the sidewalk. And we're almost here. The light's actually right up there. We're about 100 feet away now from the light. I like these, all the trucks, much like the same as in Europe, by the way. All the trucks have these little sidebars here to stop side impacts, whether it be bikes or cars, from going under the truck. And I've never understood why we haven't mandated that in America. What can I say? But this is also pretty much mandated. Pretty every European truck has same sidebars protecting the side, so you can't go under there and get run over by the wheels and killed. Which, by the way, happens often, and that's a lot of pedestrians are killed in New York City. That's how they're killed, by turning trucks. They manage to get knocked down, and then the wheels run over the poor people. This is the intersection I'm telling you about, and I'm pretty much going this straight through, and you'll see it's a bit of a mess. But again, you know, as long as you have to be. It's all about defensive driving. And I'm gonna turn left right here, and I like this street. Now there's a big market here. There's a big, this is a covered market on the left here. This covered market starts about 3 o'clock in the morning when farmers are bringing their produce to the market. It's mostly produce and some meats. A lot. I do see a lot of chickens there and birds there. But right now it's about noon. The market's pretty much cleaning up now. It's over. It's like one of the markets. Its main thing is in the morning. Whereas there's another market by my house, which I'll show you in another video, that its main thing is both in the morning, and then they have a lull in the afternoon. But then in the evening it's really busy because they cater to. There's about 20,000 workers in a shoe factory about a mile from my current house. And a lot of those people who live just north of the shoe factory will come to the market around my house. And I've driven down there a number of times. I like it because it's really crowded, and you get a sense of the life in Vietnam and living in the big city. I'm going to stop up here for bread in a little while. One thing when I first got to Ho Chi Minh City, I didn't say I liked walking around a lot, but I quickly figured out that walking around in like 95 degrees or 90 degrees weather, and the humidity is not that high, but it's relatively high, but it's very sunny. Walking is miserable. I took the buses a lot too the first months I was here. The problem is you have to walk to the bus and then you walk from the bus. And the buses are nice actually, but it's just too hot walking. It's really miserable walking. I like the motorcycle because even a hot day, that you have enough air on the motorcycle, it's keeping you cool. This is where I get my bread. We like our bread here. Like those loaves we just passed cost, I don't know, 25 cents or something. I got to look at the sign again. Ba mei, which is basically the roll. It looks like right there, and it's sort of like French bread, but I'd say it's not as meaty as French bread inside. I find French bread a little tougher texture. This is softer texture, but the bread is extremely good. I really like the good. So I'm getting these bread for our dinner lunch, which will be in a couple hours. That's the bread I got. And we're going to get underway again. I'm not sure why I had to go back there, but I'll figure out. Oh, that wasn't me. Was that me? I don't know. Another little intersection here. This is a school kid coming back from school for lunch. She'll go home for lunch, and then she'll come back to school for the afternoon. It's about midday here. It's about noon. Just looking at the sun shadow. It's about noon, I think, here now. And there is a sort of a lull in the day from about noon to like 1 or 2. That it's like if T and I have to go out someplace to buy something, we would not go at that time, because at that time people are usually eating. They'll be in the store. If you go in the store, they'll serve you. But T that says it's you need to give them some time. There's another school kid going back to school. But T basically says you need to give them some time to eat lunch because they're pretty much, like in these stores, they're in those stores like pretty much all the time. Yeah, they'll close it up at night to go to sleep, but people will be pretty much living in those stores. And we're coming up here to the next intersection. Should see a hospital on the left. Relatively busy intersection. And I miss Ho Chi Minh City. I mean, I liked the life there. It was easy. It was interesting. The people were nice. Now, one thing I have discovered in my little neighborhood, there are some people speak English in the tourist neighborhoods. I'm not in a tourist neighborhood. So basically, virtually nobody speaks English, which can be, somewhat problematic. But usually, if I need something, T will be with me and translate. Or sometimes when I've gone, for example, to the motorcycle repair place, it's sort of obvious what's wrong. And I can point them out and show them things, and they'll figure out and they'll fix it, and the bills are always really inexpensive. So ooh, that scared me then. That scared me too. The bills are always inexpensive, so I've really never been taken advantage of. But again, I don't go to tourist places. In fact, the one time I did have some people try to take advantage of me. I was down in District 1, which is the main tourist place, and the bottom line is it's a pain in the ass being down there, but it's a pain in the ass being down there in any city. In any city, in any tourist place. It's difficult being there. So, another school child being taken to school. Oh, we just passed the hospital on the left, by the way. This is another new apartment building. It's under construction. Well, it's finished by the time I left Ho Chi Minh City last year. And I'm going to turn left here without getting hit by that truck, I hope. Turn left here, and I come down at, this is a little shortcut. It's a more direct route to my house. Come over a little bridge here. Turn left again. Usually I don't see cars, trucks. You notice that Ford pickup right there? There are a lot of Ford pickups. If you see pickup trucks, are almost always Fords in Ho Chi Minh City. By the way, the ratio to cars to motorcycles, in a rough estimate, remember that old apartment, my old apartment building? I figured once counted there were about 2,000 motorcycles in the garage, and I'd say there were roughly about 20 cars. So car ratio probably is about 1 or 2%. Cars are really expensive. They're taxed really high, so you don't see very many. And the traffic's miserable if you're in a car, because you really get stuck in a lot of traffic jams that you can't get around. This thing looks very dangerous. It scares me even looking at the video. There's a little canal here that has flooded. It did flood our street when we had the big flood a few months earlier. It flooded our street. But the good thing about that, it flooded our street to a point where there's a big, massive, like 4-foot drain under our street. And evidently the drain got all screwed up, and they finally fixed it. So it's new construction. So you see I have a new paved street now, because they came in, they dug up the whole street, they put a new 5-foot, 6-foot canal in here for water to be able to escape. And they repaved the street, and they did it all in about 2 weeks. If this was America, it would take like 2 years. So that's why another reason why I did like living in Ho Chi Minh City. And right up here, my little house is going to be turn up here. I'm going to turn left presently, right here. And this is my house right there on the left, right there. Now, this little thing here, see that? That's our garbage. We put our sacks of garbage in there, and every couple days the sanitation people come by, we'll pick up the garbage, take it away. We'll also have other people looking for recyclables. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Until the next time.